Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Early Doors Football TV. As you can see, I have James from Me20 His Own TV with me as well. And I was just on James' channel earlier, just a minute ago, talking about the game, and we're just going to carry on that rant, basically. So we go from there. How are we doing, mate?
Disappointed, mate. Frustrated, and I'm quite pissed off. Really, I see a lot of people blaming Potter. And I don't like this one. They've got the sort of stick out for Potter already. Oh, it's Potter's fault. It's Potter's fault. But these players have been letting us down for a long time, a hell of a long time. And I just thought today was pathetic from the start. I thought it got better towards the end, and then we just ran out of ideas. Like, do you know what I mean? I can't wait for this season to end. It's been like that,
mate. I think that's an understatement, didn't you? That is the biggest understatement I think we can ever make, because it has been one to forget, basically.
Yeah,
absolutely shocking. Let's just say that to the people first of all, and then we can carry on. Big up to Michael, big up to Tom. This is going to be good, he's saying. And as you can see, if anyone wants to come on, there is the link. So come and join on with us. We're more than welcome. Matt saying James AK20 isn't happy. No, can't blame him either, really. Can't blame him for that. Jeff, good to see you. Evening, Hammers. It's yourself as well. And Tom, I'd love to come on your show sometime, mate. Definitely, Michael. We arranged that. Jeff saying, James, Tony, good evening. And got to say, first up, set up scene Dodd. Yeah, we said that earlier, Jeff. I said exactly the same thing when I did the watch along. Something didn't ring right there. Big up E20, James. Funny I mentioned you in Tony's watch along earlier. See, and there he is. Told you he hasn't disappeared off the face of the earth. He's always around.
I'm always about.
Yeah, I mean,
go over and subscribe. I might have to do something positive today. The rest of my fucking shit. So,
get that in there as well. But I agree with what Jeff said there. The setup didn't seem right. And I agree with what you just made there, because when I did the watch along, you looked at it and players were going through the motions.
Yeah.
I mean, you just get one where. Go on, mate. Go on.
The thing is, I don't blame him for not going 3 at the back or 5-3-2. I don't. I don't look at Potter today and go, "Oh, it's the system that's done this." Because I think even with a 5-3-2, we're still shit. Do you know what I'm saying? I just look at some of these players. Like, you'd think these players hadn't played for 2 months, Tony. That's the scary thing about it. It looked like they hadn't played for ages, and not only hadn't they played, they didn't know like the basics of defending, and
Mate.
It was just it was embarrassing to watch in that first half, and I was like, and the thing is, I said it on E20, I say it again here. Moyes, we come out the trap slow. Lopetegui, we come out the trap slow. Now we're doing it again with Potter. You can't tell me that all 3 of these managers are wrong. You can't. It's got to be on the players now. Do you know what I mean? It has to be like it's either the beginning of the game, we go 1-0 down. Well, we've done it against Brentford back in September when we played them. Yeah, we went 1-0 down after a minute. I know it's under Lopetegui, it's a different sort of thing, but the common thing that is happening is that we are not ready at the start of a game or come out of the second half. And today just proved it. And in the second half, it was better. It was better, but the first half was that bad, it couldn't get any fucking worse. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I agree on that. I do agree. Because I was just saying, going back on the defence there, I mean, the bit that Jeff mentioned there, but the bit where literally we lost it about 35 yards out from the goal. And he literally, he virtually strolled through the defence. Timmy, I can't remember who the player was, first of all, and then Wissa. They literally played the ball through, and it should have been it should have been another goal, because that's how easy it was to get through us. As you alluded to, mate, I mean, we're 2 weeks off. Fuck knows what they were doing in them 2 weeks. People said in the chat they probably it was on the beach.
I think there's a lot of issues going on behind the scenes. I don't know why. I've got a feeling the Lucas Paqueta issue was hanging over him. That's not good. Is that affecting us to a point? Because if he don't play well, then he's looked at. Mo, someone said in my chat, the African Cup Nations. I make them right on that. I think, did they get dumped out the African Cup Nations, or they lost in a game that they should have won, or qualification, or something like that? I can't remember what it was, but he hasn't been the same for a year, and that's a year now. Like that, he's not been the same player. Mavropanos is an £18 million defender. He is what he is. Do you know what I mean? He's not that good. Like, but then there's other players in there, like Alvarez is like a walking yellow card. He gets booked, and I think himself don't get sent off. Souček. The problem is it's heart over head with Souček. Your head's telling you that he's not good enough, but yet people's heart to go in. Well, look what he's done for the club, and that's what the divide is at the minute. Where you got one's with your heart, one's with your head, and it's just clashing. Do you know what I mean? Some people want him out the door. Would I sell some of Souček? No, but I don't think he's a starter. That's the thing. Like, and when I done a video with Jay the other day, and I basically turned around and said, right, keep, sell, and loan. And when you break it down, and I said it on E20, and I say it here right now, write down the 25, 26 players. You'll be lucky if you keep 8. And that is a worry, mate. We've got a lot of deadwood in this side that we need to shift.
When you put that into perspective, mate, that's shocking. That is shocking. When if you brought it down to that figure, that's fucking. That says
and I'm going to be
all,
honest. If you look at, if for argument's sake, I'll quickly say it quickly. Yeah, if you look at our best starting 11, you would probably say Bowen's a keeper. Yeah, because that's what he is. He's the guy you want to keep. After that, you're running out of options, really. Like Scholes, you're going to keep because he's a young and up and coming player. Wan-Bissaka, you're going to keep. The midfield, out of all of them, I'd probably keep Ward-Prowse out of all of them, and that's no joke. Like Ward-Prowse, I'd rather keep him over Carlos Soler or Guido Rodriguez or Andy Irving. Like it just. When I suggest it to anyone, get a pen and paper, write it down, tick them off, and you'll be like, do I keep him? Do I want to get rid of him? And I can guarantee it, you will be going, oh, I'd rather get rid of him rather than keep him. And that's where the problem is, mate. We've got a lot of shit in our side.
Yeah, true. I mean, Frogs summed it up here quite nicely. Players have got a flight with a finger pointing because everyone, as you said, it goes to Potter. Blame the manager. But as you said, 3 managers, someone can't be wrong out of them 3.
He ain't on the players, mate. I will fucking defend Potter on this because I was saying this on your show on E20 for quite a while. We're going to suffer defeats. Yeah, it's going to be an hard rest of the season. But Potter's not a miracle worker. He can't turn fucking great shit players into fucking superstars. He just can't. Do you know what I mean? If they're shit, they're shit. And basically, when I look at what he has got at his disposal, he's bringing on young kids like Evan Ferguson today comes on, breath of fresh air. And he's not even ours. That's
the thing.
Like he wants to get on the ball, he wants to run in behind, he has a shot, he does a good bit of work with Bowen. And I'm thinking, this geezer don't even play for West Ham. He's not even signed to West Ham other than a loan player. And he's done more than what some of our players did in the whole that 45 minutes. Like, you know what I'm saying? And the mentality is just all over the gaff at the minute. It really is.
It's true. I mean, as Jeff said as well, better second half. The team looked at least a bit more balanced, and JWP made a big difference in midfield, like you just said. It was that. We did have. It was a better second half. There were some spells where we kind of went back to how he was in the first half, but at least there was a bit more balance. You could see there was actually there was more better quality on the delivery of the ball and trying to create something. But other than that, I mean, Peter Chelmsford was in the chat, and he summed it up. He said we could have been out there for 30 odd hours. Went in that barn door, wouldn't have hit it at all. And that's kind of worrying. And Evan Ferguson, like you said, mate. I mean, the good thing about that, all right. Yes, it looks like we're not going to sign him, but if he can. If that's what we're going to see from just one game, and we know he's not fully fit yet, then let's take advantage of it while we've got the time. We've got the time with him because we definitely need it. Because not being funny, if look at some of the results around us and that, it's not exactly squeaky bum time, but we're not far off from it.
West Ham will beat the lesser teams at home, which will get them out of shit. I said it earlier on, I'll say it again. Yeah, we are the most luckiest fucking team to have 3 shit teams in this league. That's worse than us. Because
True.
I look at the 3 games, right? There's 3 games that I look at and think we win all 3 of them. It's done. Southampton at home, Leicester at home, Ipswich away. Ipswich away is the last game of the season, funny enough. So for me, if we win all 3 of them, then we're fine. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what we're like though against Leicester in 10 days' time. I think it is, all right, or 12. No, it's 10, about 14 days' time, because we've got, if we lose that at home to Leicester, then we are in major shit. Like, then panic stations will start. Like, listen, I don't know what the results are for the rest of the games today, but I don't know how Ipswich got on, whether Ipswich won or not. But if they start picking up wins and we don't, then we're in a lot of shit.
Yeah, it was 1-1, I believe. It finished up within. I think Ipswich were also down to 10 men at the end of the day. Obviously, Leicester lost today 2-0. You had Ipswich drawing 1-1 with Villa. Southampton lost 3-1. And obviously, one that's going on at the moment is Crystal Palace Everton. And that's 31 minutes in, it's still 0-0 there. So, I mean, and obviously look at the Moisey with Everton, he's already above us as it is now. So it's, yeah. Michael Chelsea saying, despite the big spending in the summer, West Ham haven't got a big squad, especially knowing you're at a point where you're picking youth players. But I'm not knocking that, Michael, because it's great to see actually him picking youth players, academy players, because under the 2 other previous managers, we weren't getting that whatsoever. And it's good to see it.
I'm not opposed. I've said this quite a lot. I'm not against West Ham having youth players in the side, right? I'm not. Yeah, if they're better than some of the they're better than some of the first teams that we got. I ain't gonna go against that at all. The issue I've got is that we need a bit more in midfield, because the midfield's too static. Right? We've all known it. We've all known it. Like, for the whole of January. Now, Potter has turned around, and someone said it in my chat, funny enough. They said, well, Potter did say he didn't want anyone. He must have known, right? Or maybe he's looked at him and thought, he ain't that fucking bad. Bring Ward-Prowse back, you got a bit more energy in there, and you ain't got to spend. But honestly, mate, I'm a bit lost today, Tom, if I'm honest. Like, because I was expecting a good performance today, and to get done the way we got done. And I feel like, well, where are we going? Because I just looked at it, we're 10 points ahead of Ipswich currently right now. By the time we get to Newcastle, that could be down to 5 or 6. Do you know what I mean? And Newcastle, we play on a Monday night at home. We need to win. Like so far under Potter. Listen, and I understand what people say about Potter. I do. And people are a little bit nervous because he hasn't really won a game that he's actually deserved to win. Like the Fulham game, we was a bit all over the place, and that was just a mental game. And that's the only one he's won. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
He hasn't looked convincing. But then, can I sit there really and blame him when some of these players have been putting in them sort of performances under 2 managers in one season? I just can't. I can't knock Potter for this one.
Can you? No. I mean, like Jeff said here, some people have elevated Potter onto a pedestal over the last couple of weeks. It was never going to be long before someone would have wanted to knock him off it. But he didn't do himself any favours the first half. And I agree with that as well, because, why did it take the second half? Because what was hoping for that you were giving a rocket in half time in the changing rooms. We'll hopefully see some changes, and we'll make a better account for us in the second half. But why is it taking us the second half to pick the team we should have picked from the beginning? It's one of those. And what you said, I'm not disagreeing with that, because yes, we should have made a better account for ourselves. But it's always with Brentford, we like to kind of concede early. But it was the way we conceded more than anything else. And soon as we saw Mavroponi in that defence, straight away you think to yourself, hello, here we go. But it was Ariola kind of making the save first of all. No one tracking with players. We were allowing them to come through. it was just shocking all around in that first half, and no one really kind of took the ball to by the horns and thought to themselves, you know what, I'm going to actually put my stamp on in this first half. There was none of that.
The only thing I can
whatsoever.
say about the first half for me is when I look at it, Soler, what did he do? Or what did he bring to the side? Yeah, it's not a lot.
Nothing.
The only thing I can say on that is that they're still a good enough side. Soler, Quetta, Bowen, Kudus, Souček, Alvarez. That should be enough to do some damage against Brentford in the first half. And I'm not, listen, there's going a goal down. That's one thing. Yeah, we can all accept like West Ham are going to concede goals first, right? What I can't accept is when we're going a goal down, then we look like we're going to go another goal down and another goal down, and we're getting saved by VAR literally every single time. Right, this game today overshadows. This game today looks okay to a point from the outside, but if you was to really look at this game from start to finish, we're lucky we didn't lose 3 or 4. To a point.
Yeah, I agree on that. Yeah, you're not wrong. Not wrong at all. I mean, like Frog mentioned it earlier, and I think you said it in your stream just a minute ago. He's not put the figure here, but when you think over the last 2 seasons, 121 goals that we've leaked. That
do you know what? Jesus. Do you know what I think it is deep down? And I don't like to say it because he plays for someone else, but we haven't replaced Rice. And I know it's hard because he's a top player. But Deck used to get us out a lot of shit, and he used to cover that space in behind, and he had the energy and he had the quality to sort of turn defence into attack. We haven't got them in midfield. And if Potter needs to identify something, he needs to get that. He needs to find the replacement for Declan Rice somewhere out there on the planet. Like, listen, there's good players out there, right? And we need to go out and find them. I look at people like Matoma at Brighton, and they find them. So why can't we? I don't give a fuck how much they cost, whether they're £1 million or they're 10 million. It doesn't matter as long as they're good enough, to do the job. And I think we just haven't replaced Rice. And I know people don't like Moyes. Moyes was right. We did have Declan Rice in that side that swept up any danger from a defensive standpoint. Right, Souček, this isn't the guy. Alvarez is a problem, mate. He simply is a problem at West Ham because it's every time he's doing a recovery tackle to get him out of shit when he shouldn't be in that shit in the first place, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And then when the midfield's non-existent, you're always going to concede goals because the defence it's unsustainable, isn't it? Like defence can't keep defending all the time. So
Well, as I say, mate, you're supposed to defend from the front, and obviously we had no one up front for the first half, so we couldn't even do that. Yeah. So you're relying on the midfield, and between Souček and Alvarez, it was literally the case of who's going to commit the first yellow. Who's going to get the first yellow out of the two of them.
Yeah.
And then from there, say we try to create something, but it wasn't good enough. I mean, how many times did we give the ball away?
How many times in a corner? How many times in a corner? Like I think it's either you said it or someone said it on the screen. Well, every time we had a corner comes in, no one's there. West Ham. One thing we used to be good at is set pieces.
Absolutely.
And, the set pieces have gone. I looked at that second half and I'm thinking, well, come on, then you've got to try and break this team down. And we've got no quality to open the team up. That's the problem. And if Bowen's not on it, and I see the argument on E20 just a minute ago with me and Highest going backwards and forwards, right? I can't keep defending Mo. I can't, Tom. And you've even said to me, you said, he just wasn't good. And I'm like, I think it was this, I think it was that. Today, there's no fucking excuse. He played as a 10 today. He was actually at one stage when Evan Ferguson was on. If I've got it right, he was playing as a 10. He was in the middle, and he was all over all over the place.
Yeah.
I just don't. Today stings. This one. I know it's a bit of a pun because obviously the bees, but this game stings a little bit because I look at that team. That's near enough our full strength team. Really, Like when you look at it, apart from the striker front, the defence is probably the strongest that we've got currently right now. Obviously, take Matt back, but Tadibo in. The midfield, if you had all them midfielders in a line, you're probably going to pick Souček and Alvarez. And then the Carlos Soler one, I thought he was okay against Chelsea, so I can see it to a point, but I don't think you can play Carlos Soler and Lucas Paqueta on the same side. I think they're too similar. I think they try and do the same ball and the same thing and everything. And then you look at up top and you look at Mo and Bowen and Paqueta. It's just, I don't know what's going on there. I actually think West Ham got too many counter-attacking players and not enough possession-based players. Someone told me this a long time ago. They said, what it is with West Ham is we were so good on the counter, like Bowen, Kudus, Antonio back in the day. Like we was a counter-attacking side under Moyes. Yeah. At present, we're trying to play a possession style of play with no possession. When some of these players are not possession-based players to a point.
No, because the worst part about that, James, is the fact of actually with Moyes, the Lopetegui to now Potter. The fact we're trying to transition from being a counter-attacking side to a kind of pressing and then kind of back to being a counter, it's just a mess, isn't it? It's all over the gaff, and you can understand why players in certain respects kind of get a little bit aggrieved about that. But at the same point, they are pro players. They should be able to adapt to a situation put in front of them, because that's the reason why they are where they are. I mean, obviously, Mandy's saying here, what's the point in playing wingers when we have no front man as a focal point? And that was the key thing. And it's like with Kudos. I was watching the game, and it's like, hold on, we've lost our shape, because, as I said, Wan-Bissaka going out to the left, you had between Kudos, Bowen, Paqueta, they was all over the gaff.
Yeah. So
we was allowing Brentford to expose certain areas because of our lack of misunderstanding with each other, which is shocking. Obsidian Curse, welcome into the chat as well, and he's saying here, wish fans would stop saying we are safe. We're in danger, in my honest opinion, and James has just alluded to that. I mean, we are close to that if we're not too careful. 10 points is not a big gap these days.
I think 10 points is enough for the teams that are, because can I see them teams going and winning 4 in a row? I can't see it. I can see them drawing a game, winning a game, and losing the next 2 or 3. Do you know what I mean? I can't see them winning 4 in a row, and that's what they're going to have to do to get ahead of us. Yeah, I understand it when people say about relegation. I'm not on that. I'm not there yet. Ask me after the Leicester game, because if we play Arsenal and lose, we play Leicester and lose, then I'll be thinking, fuck me, where are we? Like if we're 6 points behind, then that is doable, because obviously we'll have to play these teams like the Southamptons, especially Ipswich. Ipswich final game of the season. You don't want to be going to Portman Road needing to get something to stay in the fucking league, right? I don't think. Yeah, I'm not on that, Tony. I don't know. I'm just not on it.
Yeah. But knowing us, mate, it'll be one of those, won't it? And I'll be coming back to you. Do you remember on the 15th of February you said it'll be one of those, isn't it? A rear it said on you. Yeah. I mean, Obsidian's. I was going to cover this with you as well, fun enough, because this is another one, and I mentioned this as well. Why the heck are we waiting to the 87th minute? And it seems to be a Potter speciality. This 3 minutes to go, on comes Guilherme. Moyes memory up that shit. What can he do with just 5 minutes?
Don't get me wrong. I get it with the Moyes side of things, because it was frustrating. It was always the 70th minute, or it was too late. Yeah. You can't knock Potter for today for that sub, because that half time makes 3. Like another manager would have kept them fucking players on and maybe took off 1. He took off 3 of them, and he didn't bother him who he took off. Do you know what I'm saying?
True.
I think bringing Lewis Guilherme, it's the final straw, isn't it? It's the final hope, and it just wasn't meant to be. I'm not going to get too mad on that one. People are trying to find fault in Potter, and they've got to look at the tools that he's working with. Do you know what I mean? I know that's no excuse.
Yeah, course,
don't get me wrong. It's no excuse, but you've got to be realistic. Like, as I say, too much of the stuff is happening with every other manager, and no one's looking at the players on this one. Like, that goal.
They always get a buy.
And I'm sorry, I can't now. They've got nowhere to run now.
No.
Because Potter's not a mug. Like, you don't go and manage sides and be successful with sides. And I look at us right now, and we are a bit of a disaster at the minute. But it's the same common thing that happens every single game. Like, we start slow, or we come towards the back end of the game and we're not fully switched on. Like, but even like against Chelsea, like, we get in a situation where we're in control. Fair enough, we was unlucky. But I look at us today and we're just shit. Just shit. And I can't. Can I sit here and really blame the manager for that? Not really. Not really. Not
it's the players, isn't it? And I say the accountability of the buck stops with the players. Agreeing there. But the reason why I say kept this one up here is the fact that this is not the first time that it's 3 minutes ago this Gil Hermy comes on, and I think that's another. It's probably a stream for another day, because that is a science in itself. What has this kid done to kind of just warrant 3 minutes? I don't know, but I think that's another. Like I said, that's a stream for another day, mate. On that one. Jeff's just alluded to it. That yes, Everton have just gone 1-0 up. Beto scores. So, yes, the Moyes effect's in full of force. Good evening, Colin. Tony and James, I'm all for bringing the youth, though, and I can actually see us next season have to rely more on the youth. Just cannot see us being able to fill every position in the summer. I think that's going to be an interesting one. As long as Potter gets the chance, will he put his stamp on what he's going to do? Hopefully he will do.
That's why
all that money spent.
That's why I always say that he needed a bit more in the January window. Even if you'd have brought in another, you need to bring in at least one permanent, and just to bring in a lone player. I'm worried about Potter to a point in regards of not so much his management ability, but what the ownership's going to deliver him. That's what I'm more worried about him.
Yeah, I was going to just going to join you on that one. I think I was going to say that in stereo. It's above we've got to worry about as well now, isn't it? We've got to worry about that side of things. Evening, Terence again. How long are we going to play Kudos for? He's a liability. I can't keep possession because we had no shape or organisation. We looked like a Sunday League team at certain points, and I agree on that as well. And because I said at the beginning of the when I started the stream, does Kudos? Paqueta, does he want to start? Did he really want to start?
I think there's a lot.
I don't know your view on
that.
True, mate.
I think, and I said this on my stream just a minute ago. I can't keep identifying one, and people keep going at Mo all the time. And I understand it, but Mavropanos has been shit, and he's been shit for a long time. He's been shit for a lot longer than Mo has, right? Maybe Mo is just not the player that we thought he was, and he's certainly not the £85 million player that we think he is. Do you know what I'm saying? I look at him. I look at Alvarez. I look at Soler. Carlos Soler is not a £27 million player, mate. He's on a lot of dough, and this man does not a lot. He has one good game. People will go, "Well, you got to sign him." I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. Fuck me, let him have at least 5 good games. He hasn't even had 5 good games in a West Ham shirt. Not what I can remember.
Yeah, let's have that consistency first. Consistency first before. Yeah.
It's just that you've got to be balanced in this, right? In this argument, and I get the Mo argument because I've defended him. I've tried to defend him. I've made excuses and say, right, it's the manager. He's still the same, But then there is a lot of them who are still the same. Do you know what I mean? And then, as I always say, if you're bored tonight, write down the 25, 26 players that West Ham have got, and I can guarantee you'd be lucky if you want to keep 8 of them. And that's where the major rebuild is. We are currently we're doing a rebuild in a rebuild, and that is. I tell you what, I see a comment there from Frog. Yeah, shout out to him.
Yeah.
What is a worry is that next season we could be in a similar situation or worse. Yeah, because Potter goes out, he brings a load of players in. We don't start the season well, and then we're fighting in this situation. We're just lucky that the teams that we've got currently in the league right now are shit, and that is, I'm going to be straight, because if they were better class of teams, I think we'd be in a hell of a lot of danger.
Oh, mate, I mean, I think you said it. I think it was a couple of months ago. In that, how we on the points we are, it's beyond.
We've blagged a lot of games this year, Tony.
Oh, mate, definitely, mate, definitely. definitely.
Man
And that was, I
United.
think that was, yeah. I say it's under
Man
Lopetegui.
United,
That was the worst part about it. It was underneath that fella.
Man
But
United at home. Fulham, I'm going to be honest, at home, I think we're under Potter. I think we played all right, but we was lucky there. Like Torre at the end, he could equalise that. You've got Fulham away at the start of the season when we scored the 94th minute to get a point. Brentford away, same thing again. Like we should have been 2 or 3-0 down. There is a lot of players in this side, and the problem is we can't keep pointing at the manager. Sometimes you've got to start looking at the players and go, well, are they up for it? And I just don't think some of them are, mate. Like James Ward-Prowse, Scholes, Evan Ferguson come on today and they've done more than what some of these players have done over the last 6 months. You know what I mean? It's just not good enough.
True. Yeah. I mean, Mandy's saying, thankfully, we no longer need 40 points to survive. But I agree with this. Scholes looked good again. Yeah, he did. I don't know if you saw it as well, Joe. I mean, he's delivering with the ball into the box. I mean, they're the balls you want all day long. I mean, I love it. It was good to see it.
He's the replacement. He's the replacement for Emerson. 100%.
Got to be, isn't he? 100%. Yeah, agree on that.
Emerson's going.
Go on, he's another one out. I mean, let's get. You know, I think as you said, let's clear the decks and let's rebuild, but rebuild for the right reasons in the summer. It's got to be that way or no way. Otherwise,
I agree.
We're definitely in the mud. To be clear, I like Potter, but leaving it at the 87th minute is pointless. Totally agree on that, especially for a youngster. Can't be good for his confidence. Mandy's saying if Paqueta loses that trial and Kudos leaves, it'll be an interesting summer. But if it does, let's make sure we get top bucks for that. I mean, 85 million as a release clause, take that all day long. That's 3 players you can get out of that.
The only club, the only team, or the only person's going in there is Saudi. There's no one. There is absolutely no chance a Liverpool or Arsenal are going, well, we want Mohamed Kudus at our club now this season. And no one's going to look at him. And when you look at Mamouche, who's scored hat-tricks over City, who's cost 80 million, who's had a really good season with Frankfurt, I think it was, who he was with, and goes to City, there is no way anyone. I'll literally listen. If someone come in from Arsenal or somewhere and said 85 million for him, I'd drive him there tonight. Ain't happening. It just isn't going to happen, mate. And
nah, of course not. Of course not.
Do I really like? I'm not being funny, but do you really want to get rid of Mo? Really, like, or is it that he's just lost his confidence time?
I don't know if it's a confidence thing there, James. I mean, like, first of all, you might say it could have been, but I've already alluded to it. That point when he got sent off in the Spurs game with Van der Ven. For me, it was a case of pure frustration.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say it's a confidence thing. I think it's just the fact of it's sort of being the big player, but you've also got to justify yourself for being the big player in the first place. And if you can't back that up and you put in performances like that, as you said, not being funny, if you as a manager of a team and you think yourself, I had my eye on Kudos, and you watch this season, like you just said, you're going to turn and say, nah, that's going to be toxic in the team, that. Because if he's doing that now with this team, is he going to do it with my team? And you'll steer clear of it. As you said, Saudi probably is more likely will be the shout. At least that way we know we are going to get some top money for that. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a confidence thing. I think it's just it's the player himself. It's the attitude. It stinks. Yeah. You can see it. I mean, there's a bit where he lost the ball, and he was literally, I think, 5-10 yards away from it. Not even attempted to win the ball back.
I know. I know exactly the incident what you're saying. Because I looked at it and I thought, "What the fuck are you doing?" Yeah, man. And I don't know. Like today's an hour to take. Like it really is, and it's one that you sort of like the first 2-3 minutes of my stream, I was like so raging, and I'm in the mother-in-law's house, and I'm thinking, "Don't lose your rag, James." You know what I'm saying? But then I was like, what, fuck it, I'll do it. But it's
I was going to say, yeah.
I just don't get where that's come from, though, Tom. Right? And the thing is, eventually you're going to run out of managers. Because you can't keep blaming the manager every 5 minutes. Do you know what I'm saying? You've got to start looking at these players.
It's an easy buy, mate, isn't it? It's always a manager that gets cops it in the neck and that, and the players get away with a buy. Good evening, Steve. Yeah, it was an awful match. You were saying that, but also saying hello to Richo. Moyes is magic, and don't blame you because he's put up here. Because at the moment, up to 14th, the Everton are at the moment. Yeah, and fair play to him. He's also saying, look, Europe, and this is the stats: 4 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. Fair play to you, Richo. Yeah. Jeff saying, the Solar thing, people flip flop from sign him up to fuck him off from week to week. It makes me laugh. Yeah. It's a no brainer for me. Even Oscar, even though Lopetegui deserved it, the players don't get enough stick for downing tools under him. Not the right mentality. I mean, I get that, but at the same point, I'll always say I've only watched one, and I think Jack, you was in that at the time, press conference under Lopetegui, and mate, that was enough for me to say that I can understand why we're struggling, because no one understood what he was saying. I think the penny's starting to drop. Yeah, absolutely. Problem is we are not getting the cash we should have for Pack, and kudos. Pack's going to be playing for Wormwood Scrubs, and kudos be lucky to get our money back on this form. Yeah, and it's shocking. It is shocking, and there is, Mandy saying, how much, in James' opinion, do we need to give Potter in the summer?
Fucking hell. Good question. I'm going to say he needs about 150 minimum. That's what I think he needs. I think he needs a new goalkeeper, if not 2. I think you got Fabianski, you got Areola there. Both of them are not ball-playing goalkeepers. Even someone in the half-time space that I've done. So how many times has Areola kicked the ball out? Every single fucking time. Like, he's not good enough. I think the defence has not improved at all in the slightest. You've got Gilman in there, which is a lot of money. You got Tadibo can't get fit. You got Magma who's not good enough. So I think you need another centre half in there with quality. We need a new midfield, completely new midfield. Like, I think at least minimum 150. I think that, and that's without any player sales. Like, so if you go and get 85 for Mo and you get other players for that, then it goes up to 200. West Ham need a lot of work, a hell of a lot of work doing.
Yeah.
And if they can get it done for 150, then great. But I think they needed a bit more than that. Do you know what I mean? Not having a striker to call our own and having 125k Danny Ings sitting on the bench just doing the living. That's where the club's going wrong, in my opinion.
Because on that respect, you've got to think to yourself, with what we've got currently, how much money can we actually claw back from these players?
There's not a lot. If you're going to sell anyone or any asset, yeah, you're going to probably have to sell Mo. Yeah, but there's no way you're getting 85 for it. Not now.
No.
Not a chance.
No.
Right? You'd be lucky if you get 50.
Saying it. Yeah, I mean, look, still good money, but you'd rather take top whack. But as he said here, Colin put here, player need gone or sold. Full crew, yeah, definitely agree on that. Ings, Cresswell, Kufal, Mavro, Emerson, Tadibo, Sola, Rodriguez, Kudos, keep but be gone. Paqueta, will go. 2 or 3 more on top will go shambles coming.
Yeah. Out of all of them, I just want to go back to that.
Yeah,
go back to that comment there, Tony. Yeah. Out of all of them, I'd say Tadibo, I would like to see him given a chance under Potter for a season. Yeah, I think this season's been a complete fucking nightmare for him. Yeah, injured, then round with Lopetegui, injured again, and now Potter's here. Yeah, so I would hold fire on Tadibo. I don't want to sell Mo, but Mo's got to improve. Like, he's just got to improve, and the rest of them, yeah, it's probably about bang on. Emerson's going. I'd have money on that. I'll be very shocked if he's our first team starter next year. I think I've said it for quite a long time. I think Skull's been upgraded for a reason, because I think what they've done is they need the homegrown quota, and I think he's going to come in and be the left back. And don't be surprised if we go after someone like a Carl Walker-Peters who can play both sides, because he can play left and right.
I'd take
and
him.
then that gives it.
But yeah, I'll take him.
Yeah,
Definitely take him. I mean, when you look at it here, I mean, yeah, Krug, yeah, bid him off. Ings, definitely. Cresswell, I think he'll want to go anyway himself. Kufal, been a good servant, but he needs to go. Mavro, well, if you spend 15 million, you get what you get, basically. And yeah, Sola, don't take him on. Rodriguez, well, I thought he'd been gone in the January window myself, but he's still with us. But yeah, but good evening to Russ. He says we probably need 500 million to put this squad right.
Yeah, it's a lot of dough, mate.
Good evening again, Peter. A young man, you need to change the title to match low lights. Yes, I missed the trick there, mate. You're not wrong. Yeah, not match highlights, match low lights. Very true. We need two new keepers. Yeah, I mean Fodringham and that. I mean, what's he actually there for? That's the question I've got. I mean, just keep the seat warm.
Yeah.
Should get enough for a bucket of KFC from Mavropanos.
I'll take it.
162 million. Yeah.
Take it,
I think Patman will be found guilty, and there goes any transfer fee. That'd be shocking if that's the case. Peter's also saying if players aren't fit to start, they shouldn't be on the bench. Well, that's how it used to be, isn't it? You know, you deserve to get on the bench if you put an effort in, but it seems you get away with by. Evening Graham as well. Very disappointing. Unfortunately, need another rebuild. Got to keep faith with Potter until he gets all his own players, then judge. And that's a good statement. Because as we know, he is feeding off what is basically, Lopetegui's. Cool. I think we had at one point we was all creaming ourselves over all these players we signed, but you can't even say that it was injuries that got in the way, James, can you? I mean, even we know obviously Antonio, Krug, and definitely Somerville out until March.
Yeah,
but still. Yeah,
but even if you add Krug in there, something's not right. I think it's more type of players that we've got. If you want me to be honest, I think we've got too many counter-attacking players and not enough possession-based players. I just don't see it. Like even Bowen, to a point, he's not a possession-based player. He's a counter-attacker. He's the sort of person that picks the ball up, and you want him running the other way. I think there's a lot of issues, mate. A hell of a lot. And
without a doubt.
Next week we've got Arsenal at the Emirates. Yeah, and if they score early, they can pump us 4 or 5. It could be another massacre like it was this season. Yeah, and last season. And I can't. What it is with me, I say this, is that you've got to look at this and say, right, this season's a dead season, but you still need to be professional and have pride in your performance in whatever you're doing. Like, at least be proud to say, you know what, yeah, right, we're going to go out and give it a go. Right, we've got nothing to play for to a point. But if we get to the Leicester game on the 27th of February and these teams around and start picking up points, we could be in the shit. Like if Leicester beat us at the London Stadium, we've got a major problem, because that's a 6-pointer basically. Do you know what I mean? And I've seen West Ham go down on 43 points or 42 points back in the day. Nothing is beyond the realms of possibility. Yeah, obviously, do I believe that we're going to get relegated? No. I think we beat them teams that I've said. Them 3 in the bottom company right now. We've got to play them all again. If we pick up 7 points, it's as good as safe for me. But if we lose a leg against Leicester, that's the first one, then my attitude will change. 100.
Yes. Big up to Arsenal. Yeah, that was dull. Yeah, definitely that was, mate. Yeah. And he's saying obviously the brother-in-law Terry doing cartwheels and not that far from there. Obsidian saying the team of Potter and McCauley have never spent big though, have they? That's true. Brighton seem to buy young unknown gems and experienced players coming to the end of their careers. Sorry, they're beginning to wonder where our next win is coming from.
Valley.
True. Peter's saying, looking at remaining games, I think we'll get around 34 points the way we're playing. Then we need to wake up. Totally agree on that comment. Yeah, bet you're picking it for next week. Arsenal's got too many injuries, but we'll win that game. Yeah, even with the injuries, still be at the thing.
You watch us shit out of 1-0 win up there. 100%. Just fucking know it, don't you?
You know what I mean? Yeah, bring back Mike Small. Yeah, that's what we need. 1-0 win. That's all we need out of it. Peter Johnson will end up conceding as many goals as last season. Yeah. And obviously, that's just the Arsenal. Big up Mr. Joshy J. Big up Tony in the chat. I can't wait to start talking about West Ham United tonight on my football channel. Yeah, mate. Won't take that long after what you saw today, that's for sure. But yeah, I think we're going to wrap it up here because I think we don't want to depress ourselves too much. We still want to enjoy the weekend at the end of the day.
Yeah.
James, thanks for coming on, mate. And everyone, don't forget, if you haven't already, I think most of you already have, go to his channel, hit the like button, share, and definitely subscribe to him. Does some great stuff as well. And he's always welcome on this channel every single time. So it's always good to have him on there. Honest opinions. Some people don't like honest opinions for some reason. I don't know why, but it's a good thing to have. Peter said Arsenal beat us without a goalkeeper.
Yeah, I know. Fucking hell. Yeah, listen. Help Tony out and all. Hit the like button on this video and get him out there. Get him to 100 likes. There you go. Right, there's a little challenge for you in the chat. Get him to 100 likes and it boosts his algorithm. And listen, West Ham can't win. Let's hope Tony can win on the YouTube game.
Yeah.
But there you go. 100 likes. Get it done, people. Get it done.
Look at that. Look, Arsenal Medic said, I hate honest opinions. Just tell me we are the best. Oh, my God. You're just as bad as this fella. Good evening, Anthony. Yes, just as bad as him as well. But thanks for watching us and that and joining in the chat. We do appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Take care for now and try to enjoy the rest of your weekend. As Hammers fans, we'll try our best to. Take it easy.
Take care.